Oops. Lighting. There we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning on this beautiful Saturday morning here, Saturday, March 7th, 2026. My name is Edward Bevilacqua. Here we are, Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help our students and interested people on their journey through this life. And good morning, Maticus Von Atticus. Good morning to you. And how are things there at Fort Homestead? Well, so it's a beautiful day outside. It's already light. The sun is not up, but it is light. No need for dark, no darkness. It's only light and very breezy. It was actually windy. It was windy last night. It's breezy this morning. Okay, well, let's get into it. So this is Saturday. This is G.school. This is the part of the week, the weekend. It's the weekend, which the 2 days we focus on the spiritual aspect of life, the spiritual dimension part of our program. Our program covers 4 areas. This is the spiritual area, but we cover physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Physical part is fitness and health. We have this body, the body is an adaptive machine controlled by a brain that creates its reality, something, health and meaning, and whatever. I gotta memorize that. Let's see where I can get that recent. The elegant equation. We'll get that up in a second. So physical, fitness and health, mental, always be learning, A, always be, B, C, learning, always be learning. The body is an adaptive machine. True. Controlled by a brain that constructs its reality in service of survival, health, and meaning. So the brain constructs its reality in service of survival, health, and meaning. Correct. The elegant axiom. But here we are looking for stuff, doing that Stevie Wonder thing. Okay. Our themo for today is lunch with the Jesuit. Yes, very lucky. Get to go to Las Vegas, have lunch with the Jesuit. And that's always a big deal, always a good thing. Always, always, always a good thing. So, what else we got here? Oh, advice from an 80-year-old. There we go. What's the advice from an 80-year-old? Never give up on anybody. Miracles happen every day. Correct. Miracles happen every day. Seth Godin. If they knew. Some organizations and marketers thrive on the uninformed consumer. They seek out people who don't know and who aren't particularly good at decision making. Others do their best work when the customer knows what's up and is making an informed choice. Are you choosing the sale, or are you closing the sale or opening it? If your prospect knew everything you knew, would they choose you? That is a key one. If your prospects knew everything you knew If your prospects knew everything you know, would they choose you? When marketers sign up for the iterative process of education and sophistication, our path is clear. And if we sign up to confuse and manipulate, that path is clear as well. Very good one. I think the key line is, if your prospects knew everything you know, would they choose you? And what do you say about that, Atticus von Atticus? Good morning, you're fired. This watch costs more than your car. Right. I rode in on a moose today. Right? Okay, what not a bevy's there. Buenos, I'm on the plane. RMB. What? Plane MB. Just landed in Baltimore. Where are you going? I'm about to go to Richmond. Virginia, Moginia, or Noginia? Which one? Yes. Which one? Virginia, Moginia, or Noginia? All right. Well, how is school? Okay. So that is Seth Godin for us. Let's look at our daily prayer. So down below we have Evangelia Prima, 4-week lesson plan. Week 2. So 4-week lesson plan for Jesus's commandments, foundation. Week 1 is foundations. Week 2, faith, trust, and living water. Week 3, servanthood and keeping Jesus' commands. Week 4, unity in mission. Okay, so let's look at week 2. Day 6 is Mark 9:23. Everything is possible for one who believes. Okay, let's look at Mark chapter 9. The healing of a boy with a spirit. When they came to the disciples, they saw a great crowd around them and some scribes arguing with them. When the whole crowd saw him, they were immediately overcome with awe, and he asked them, "What are you arguing about?" Someone from the crowd answered him, "Teacher, I brought you to my son. He has a spirit that makes him unable to speak. And whenever it seizes him, it dashes him down, and he foams and grinds his teeth and becomes rigid. And I asked your disciples to cast it out, but they could not do so." He answered them, "You faithless generation, how much longer must I be among you? How much longer must I put up with you? Bring him to me." So this is Jesus with the disciples. And they brought the boy to him. When the spirit saw him, immediately it convulsed the boy, and he fell on the ground and rolled about, foaming at the mouth. Jesus asked the father, "How long has this been happening to him?" And he said, "From childhood. It has often cast him into the fire and into the water to destroy him. But if you are able to do anything, have pity on us and help us." Jesus said to him, Jesus said to him, "If you are able, and all things can be done for the one who believes." Immediately the father of the child cried out, "I believe, help my unbelief." When Jesus saw that a crowd came running together, he rebuked the unclean spirit, saying to it, "You spirit that keeps this boy from speaking and hearing, I command you, come out of him and never enter him again. After crying out and convulsing him terribly, he came out, and the boy was like a corpse, so that most of them said, he is dead. But Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he was able to stand. When he had entered the house, his disciples asked him privately, why could we not cast it out? And he said to them, this kind come out only through prayer. So that is the key. If you are able, not a question, a statement. That like is in sarcasm. All things can be done for the one who believes. Okay, cool. Great. How we doing for time? Time, such a runic rhyme. Moginia. What happens if I become intoxicated? Okay, awesome. Capital Confederate States. What? To go G to G deplaning. If it doesn't matter, okay, plop. All right. So Watanabe Bebe is on special mission in Baltimore. Okay, interesting. All righty then. Now, today is day 6 in week 2 of our 4-week program. This is day 6 of Inside Our Skull Science Kingdom. Jill Bolte Taylor is talking about stroke of insight. This is kind of a good one, not kind of a good one. It is a good one. It's 17 years old, and it was probably 10 years after she had her stroke. So about the year 2000. Harvard brain scientist Jill Bolte Taylor woke up with a headache, which intensified at some point early-ish on some point after waking up. She decided she was having a stroke. And on the one hand, it was terrifying. On the other hand, it was interesting because, as she said, how many brain scientists get to observe themselves having a stroke from the inside out? So what she saw, and it seems kind of like it was unique, was the hemispheres of her brain flickering over. Instead of working together, her left hemisphere would shut off. So she was only left with all that remained was her right hemisphere. And when her right hemisphere was on, that was all the life force power of the universe coming into her. So when her hand is up against the shower, she couldn't distinguish her arm from the wall, the pixels. And she felt enormous, connected to everything. What she referred to as La La Land. Then her left side would kick back in. The left hemisphere would kick back in, and it would warn her, hey, we got to do something. Come on, we got to do something. And then it would flick out. And so she had to call her office, tell them she needed help. That took, I think she said, a half hour. Ultimately, the paramedics arrived, took her to the hospital. She experienced that moment when it appeared that all was like a balloon, and the last bit of air, she felt it could be her transition. And then she was surprised to wake up to the harsh light and blaring sounds. and it took her 8 years to totally recover. And now, for the last 17 years, well, more than that, the TED Talk was 17 years ago. I'm not sure how long after the event, but anyway, so now she goes out. Now she goes out. That was a weird one. Okay, now she goes spreading the news, the word, that if we were able to step in, we just stepped into our right hemisphere where we're all connected, we're all one, if we would do that, the world would be a better place. If we could just do that, the world would be a better place. Okay, so why do we watch Jill Bolte Taylor? This is Inside My Skull-Sized Kingdom. This is Inside My Skull-Sized Kingdom. This week is called Inside My Skull-Sized. We're trying to understand how the brain works. And so we have another example here of how powerful the brain is. Again, the elegant axiom. The body is an adaptive machine. What does that mean? Well, it's a machine that adapts to its circumstances. If it needs to focus on this, it can, or this, it can do that. It's an adaptive machine controlled by a brain that constructs reality, that constructs its reality. Okay, brain that doesn't construct reality, constructs its reality, constructs the reality of the brain and the body in service of, so why does it construct reality? In service of survival, health, and meaning. Because we ask ourselves, what is the meaning? Why are we doing this? Why do we act the way we do? We are not like other animals that don't ask questions like meaning. Their focus is on survival and health, as far as we know. So we watch it. We watch Jill Bolte Taylor not for the reason she gives the talk. We watch it because it helps us understand the brain. And again, our idea is if we can answer two questions, who am I and why do I behave the way we do? If we can answer those two questions, we could dial in who we need to be right now. So that would be a thing for Atticus von Atticus, to answer the questions, who am I and why do I behave the way I do? And Matt might leave it at, well, because I'm autistic. Well, that's not a complete answer. That's just a fact in it. Who am I? You're much more than an autistic person. And then that partially drives you to make the decisions you make. Jill Bolte Taylor, big one if you're interested in the meaning part, her thing. I think it's big in terms of a brain scientist saying this is what's going on when you have a stroke. And it supports our day one brain stuff from Daniel Amen. The brain can be easily damaged, but it can be repaired. She was in probably an incredible brain smart program because of who she was and where she worked. Harvard. Okay, so we're winding down. I'm going to be heading out at about 9:30 to Las Vegas to have lunch with the Jesuit. We will be talking about his book, which is in my briefcase. We'll be talking about his book and other important things. So with that, I'm going to say hasta la vista, baby. Matt, keep doing the thing you're doing. Keep on keeping on.